From the Associated Press and SEB News, this is Newsline with Army Sergeant Bill Horn.
Good evening. Your phone calls to Open Line have generated new programs and services for the Vicenza community. 2 years ago, one such call got a mailbox placed in the Villaggio area, but some people have been using it as a trash can. Last night on Open Line, Vicenza Deputy Community Commander Colonel Arnold Rossi talked about what he plans to do about it.
This represents just one day's worth of small items. On other days, they found Coke cans, partly empty.
North, partly cloudy skies with high temperatures near 50 degrees. Central Italy, partly cloudy skies with high temperatures in the upper 50s. And down south, look for partly cloudy skies with haze. High temperatures expected in the mid-50s. Austria, Switzerland, and southern Germany, cloudy skies with rain. High temperatures near 45 degrees. Well, the opportunity to learn about computers is an ongoing one at the Vicenza Community Library. Instruction on the Apple III or the Commodore 64 is available. Sergeant Don Merrill recently learned in his conversation with computer technician Mr. David Dinges.
Still want to learn about computers but have been putting it off or haven't had the chance? Maybe a little self-conscious that you don't know your way around them too well. Well, the library's instructional class might be for you.
The instructional class deals with how to power up, maintenance, and a general overview of computers in general. So they get there's less anxiety with dealing with the machine, and they know that it's a tool and it can be a friend and not an enemy.
As far as when that instructional class is held at the library?
We were using it every Wednesday, but we've slowed it down to 2 classes per month now because of the size of the room. We've been restricted by our size. And we allow 6 people to sign up.
But if you're someone who feels your skills with the computer are beyond the level of the instructional class, Mr. Dinges might be able to help you too.
But if a person has the skills, all I have to do is stop by the desk or any evening that I'm here, and I'm usually here, and we'll take them back here and make sure that they are familiar with the system and can operate it, and then I issue them a computer user's card.
I'm Sergeant Don Merrill, reporting for SEB News.
Looks like a pretty good weekend for us. Northern Italy tonight can expect partly cloudy skies with fog, a low in the low 40s. Central Italy, partly cloudy skies with a low in the mid-40s, and down south, look for partly cloudy skies with a low near 50 degrees. Austria, Switzerland, and southern Germany, partly cloudy skies with a low near 35. Highs reported today, Aviano checked in with 54, Vicenza 52, Camp Darby at Livorno 61 degrees. Tomorrow's forecast in the north is calling for partly cloudy skies with a high temperature in the upper 50s. Central Italy, partly cloudy skies with a high temperature in the low 60s, and down south, partly cloudy skies with a high temperature in the mid-60s. Austria, Switzerland, and southern Germany, partly cloudy skies with morning fog, a high temperature near 45 degrees. What is the trend of computer usage these days? Well, if you're into computers, you probably already know. But if you're just getting started, you might be interested in the comments of Vicenza Library technician Mr. David Dinges. In a recent conversation with Sergeant Don Merrill, one thing he brought out was that going solo with a computer doesn't seem so popular anymore.
The trend now is less the person that goes out to the Radio Shack and buys a computer or Sears and comes and does it on their own, tries to do it on their own. They have what we call users groups back in the States, and I believe there's several users groups here in Europe also. I know it's big in Germany. And what these people do is they get together and they share programs, they share information on peripheral devices, what's the latest that's coming out from Commodore, or if it's an Apple group, what's the latest coming out, which would be the Apple IIc, which is very popular, very user-friendly.
Meaning, by the way, that computer commands are so much like directions we use in everyday speech that almost anyone can make their way around a computer's keyboard with little or no trouble. Anyway, back to users groups, and what about their popularity here in the community?
And I know right now that there is about 4 people who are trying to establish a Apple's users group, mainly since they've had such a big boom in selling the Apple IIc, which is a very popular computer at this time.
Mr. Dinges also says he knows of a Vicenza high school student who was interested in starting a Commodore 64 users group. For more information on computers or starting a users group, contact Mr. Dinges at 7615. I'm Sergeant Don Merrill for SEB News.
A couple of notes to pass along to you before we close tonight. A flea market is scheduled for tomorrow in the inflatable building on Vicenza's North 40. Hours are from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And also a Cub Scout paper drive takes place tomorrow in Villaggio from 9 to 11:30 a.m. by Cub Scout Pack 295. Leave your newspapers, magazines, and paper bags on your doorstep. That's our time for tonight. I'm Army Sergeant Bill Horn. Thanks for watching.
A small but hearty crowd gathered at the beach under a cloudy sky and strong winds. Even though the red flag was up, signaling no swimming, the beach was officially opened by the commander of the 8th Support Group and Livorno Military Community, Colonel Joseph La Posada. The water was too choppy even for boating, and only one small girl was brave enough to get her toes wet in the surf. So opening day 1984 saw a mostly deserted playground. It was a contrast from last year when the weather was nice for swimming, paddling around in the boats MSA has for rent, or just enjoying the sand and the sun. Patience, my friends. Fine weather must be just around the corner. Maybe this weekend. For SEB, I'm Specialist Mark Moss.
Be sure to apply soon.
This is SEB, the look of home.